Kippur, that's on Torah. The mitzvah to fast on Tisha B'Av. We know that all the takanot chachamim, all what chachamim were metakin, leka midi deloy remiza b'raisa. There's nothing that's not hinted in the Torah that has something. What the Rabbanan made, there's a hint in the Torah. What does it have to do? Chachamim don't make new things. The Chachamim have some kind of a snippet, some kind of a branch of the law of the Torah. So the Sefer Sfas Emes brings something very interesting. I would like to talk about it. The Zohar connects the mitzvah of fasting on Tisha B'Av with the third mitzvah in the Torah. Al kain vayochlu b'nei Yisrael es gid hanoshim. You know the story that Yaakov Avinu had a fight by Yar. The angel saw that he cannot. He tried to kill Yaakov. By Yar ki lo yochaloi. He didn't succeed in being victorious over Yaakov. But however, by Yiga b'kaf Yerechoi, he managed, yes, to wound him, and for a certain period of time till Yaakov became Muhutzai Leah Yerechoi, and he made Yaakov to be limping. And therefore the Torah says, this place where the angel wounded Yaakov Avinu, which is called the Gid Hanosha, Al Kain, because of this story, Vayochlu b'nei Yisrael es Gid Hanosha. Says the Zohar, you know, the word es is not extra in the Torah. There was a Tana called Shimon Amsuni, he was interpreting all the words es in the Torah. Till he came to because the word es means an extension of the subject you're talking about. I give an example. It says in the Torah about tefillah b'mikvah, something that's tomei, v'rochatz es b'sorei b'mayim. So the Gemara interprets what's es, that not only does the flesh have to be tabled in the water, but es b'rabois esara, that the hair as well, if there's a chatzitza in the hair, it's also not a tefillah. So es is like the extension. So comes the Zohar and says over here, Rashi Tevis. What's es Giranosha? It says es Giranosha, es is Rashi Tevis. Av Tisha. Talk about it. So it says that the mitzvah Av Tisha, Tisha B'Av, that eating on Tisha B'Av is equivalent to eating the Giranosha. Av Tisha. Av, the month of Av. Aleph of S is Av, the month of Av. The Tav is Tisha. It's the Rashi Tevis, the first letter. Av Tisha. Av Tisha. Yeah, the other way around. So the Zohar says that here's a rumus in this. I want to explain this, of course, what's going on here, what's the connection. And the Shloah comes and he broadens, extends this. He says not only is Tisha B'Av hinted over here in the Torah, but as well, let's see, Gid Hanosha. What is the gematria of Gid? Gimel Yud Daled. 17. Shivasa B'Tammuz. So we have Tisha B'Av and Shivasa B'Tammuz, the whole Bein HaMetzorim. But what is the connection? So first of all, let's think about this. Let's see if this is a wild thing. What's this connection of Tisha B'Av with eating the Gid Hanosha? But let's go to a Gemara. How many mitzvahs loy sasa do we have in the Torah? We have Mei Reish Mem Ches mitzvah saseh. How many mitzvahs loy sasa? You know how many? 365. And the Gemara says 365. What else do you know that is 365?
Solar year.
The solar year, revolution of the sun. And the Gemara still brings another thing of 365 in the body of the human being. The Gemara says there's 365 Gidim. Now this is interesting. So here we don't have a Zohar, we have here a Gemara that makes the connection between the Gidim of the Adam and the days of the year. So it's not such a pella to say that the day of Tisha B'Av is connected with Gid Hanosha. We see already in the Gemara that the days of the year are parallel to the Gidim in a person. I just want to explain this. So it's logical that every day has a certain Gid that's corresponding to that day. And by the way, so the Svarim say if the Gid Hanosha is corresponding to the day of Tisha B'Av, which gid in the Adam is corresponding to Yom Kippur. The gid which is corresponding to Yom Kippur is the gid Hamila, when we make bris milah. That's like two opposites. The gisa of gid Anosha and bris milah. Talk about it in a minute, explain. But first I want to explain this concept.
What's the gid of Tisha?
Gid Hanosha. The gid where the angel wounded Yaakov Avinu, which we're not allowed to eat.
It's right next to Bermuda.
It's not so far away. Very good. It's not so far away. It's interesting. That's an interesting observation. Yes. Now the concept is, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we live in a world of this. We can say we live everything in this world. There's an olam. There's a concept of olam chod. The nefesh ha'adam, the adam, is a compact disc, so to speak, of the whole world. Whatever you have in the world at large, you have that. This is Chazal have taught us that the man is a microcosm of the whole world. What the Chachamim call olam katan, a miniature world. Now, like the adam is a marechet, it's a total marechet, it's a total structure of the world. The same thing, whatever you have in the adam, you also have in time and space. Time, in other words, it's not different than three-dimensional. It's a three-dimensional world. Everything can be classified with the person, and he's in a certain time and a certain space. Time is also a compact creation in itself, having corresponding to everything that there is in the world, and space is the same thing. This is called, in the Kabbalah, it's called this Olam Roshei Tevis Ashad. Olam Shana Nefesh. Whatever you have in Olam, you have in Shana. Olam is space, Shana is time, and Nefesh is the human being. So it's not so wild to understand that corresponding Gidim, 365 Gidim, that's Nefesh, and that corresponds to the 365 days in the year, that's Shana. So it's corresponding. So the corresponding in Nefesh, the Gid Anosha, which is corresponding in the Nefesh HaGuf, that's corresponding to that is the Gid, is the date of Tisha. But what does it mean? What is the connection? All right, so now we explained the Zohar without Rosh Hashanah. But what is the connection between the Isa of eating Gid Anosha and not eating and fasting on Tisha B'Av? So for this, that means if we really want to understand the depths of the meaning of the prohibition not to eat on Tisha B'Av, we have to understand the prohibition of not eating the Gid Anosha. Because now we have in front of it, this is an extension of the Gid Anosha. So we have to understand the depths of this mitzvah. So let's learn together. The Sefer Achiluch writes on all the mitzvahs, what are the Taimei HaMitzvah? He tells us roots of the mitzvah to understand the mitzvah. So he says like this, why did the Torah command us not to eat not to eat the Gid Anosha? He says, the idea of this mitzvah is that there should be a hint to Am Yisrael, that even though they will suffer enormous suffering in the exile, but in other words, that the children of Esau and the rest of the nations of the world will try to destroy Am Yisrael. Like we say in the Haggadah Shel Pesach, B'chol dor v'dor oimdim b'leilu l'chalaseinu. Because we know there's a principle called, let's explain, Maaseh Avot Siman Ubanim. Whatever happened to the fathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, is a sign. It's like a seed. Whatever happened in their life is a sign to what's going to be by the children. So here too, this battle, he's going to explain it right away. But anyway, he says the message. First of all, let's divide it into two parts. What is the message that we have to internalize from the prohibition of not eating the Gid Anosha? He says that Am Yisrael should know that even though they will suffer in the gullahs, in the hands of the nations and the children of Esau, they should be sure of one thing, that they will not be lost. They will not be wiped out from the world, they won't disappear, and that there always will be a nucleus of Am Yisrael in the tzura, in the proper form of Am Yisrael. There will always be a nucleus of Am Yisrael keeping dedicated and loyal to the Torah and mitzvahs. Not Am Yisrael physically will be wiped out, and not Am Yisrael
spiritually be wiped out. There'll always be a nucleus of Am Yisrael, Ma'aminim steadfast in their faith, keeping them totally loyal to the Torah and mitzvahs, like there always has been. In every situation, there knows that like Am Yisrael won't be wiped out, like the Shtakech, like the Shokach, the Torah won't be forgotten either. And that's number one. Number two, the principle of the mitzvah of Narina Gidanoshev is the faith that at the end of time there will come a redeemer and redeem them from all the pain of the ghost. Means it's the chizuk, it's a strengthening in the emunah, in the faith of Bias HaMashiach. How does it all tell us all this? The first one, what's the purpose of having this, telling this? Uvezichrom continues to say Prachinas, and he says, Uvezichrom tamid inyan zeh. By their remembering always these ideas, through this mitzvah, this will give them the power and the energy to stay steadfast in their faith. Yamdu be'emunasom v'tzidkosom li'olam. Am Yisrael has to go through thousands of years in Golis of enormous tests to be disloyal to the Torah, to leave the Torah, but by knowing that the Am Yisrael will not be wiped out. They can't wipe out Am Yisrael. They can make Am Yisrael suffer like the Malach did, but like the Malach could not wipe out Yaakov, is who's same thing here too. And so that this will give them, and also he explains, like Yaakov Avinu was cured, they will be cured as well. Melech HaMashiach will cure all the difficulties of the gods. How do we see this from this mitzvah? So he explains. The RavS Zehu, how do we learn these ideas? What do we say basically? Two ideas. One idea that not Am Yisrael will be wiped out, not physically or spiritually. Secondly, there will come a goyel at the end of time redeem him. How do we learn all this from the mitzvah of Gid HaNoshim? He explains. That angel that battled with Yaakov Avinu. We have the Kabbalah, that means we have received the Messiah as a tradition, that he was the spiritual angel of Esau, and he wanted to kill Yaakov. He wanted to uproot Yaakov from this world, he and his children. But did he succeed? So the Torah says, he could not do it. But, however, what he did accomplish, he did manage to cause him suffering in making him lame in his foot. The Chaim, so this was a sign. Zera Esau Mitzayah Zera Yaakov. The children of Esau, they caused suffering to the children of Yaakov. But at the end of time, the Rasayf PLM to Chua. Where do we see this in the mitzvah of Gid HaNoshim? It says, Moshe Mitzinu Ba'ov. Torah says by Yizrach Loi Hashemesh, the sun shines for Yaakov Avinu. By the way, we know the Kabbalah as well. It wasn't the natural shining. It wasn't the Yizrach Loi Hashemesh. Like Baruch Hu made a supernatural shining of the sun. He took out the sun before its time for Yaakov Avinu. Yizrach Loi Hashemesh, and the sun cured him. This is that shining of the sun for Yaakov Avinu, the cure of the Gid HaNoshim. That's a remez, that's a hint to the shining of the sun of Melech HaMashiach. The Moshe Mitzinu Ba'ad, Shezoch Lei HaShemesh Ba'apoisei, the Noisha Min Atzar, he was saved from the suffering. Kein Yizrach Lonu HaShemesh HaMashiach, Yirapeinu Mitzarenu, Yivalenu B'mheru Yemenu Amen. Unbelievable. So what does he write here? He writes that the sign of the mitzvah of Gid HaNoshim is to give us the power to endure suffering of the Amchumas HaOlam and Golas and the strength of the faith of Mashiach. The Gid HaNoshim is a sign that it's where Esau touched us, but he didn't wipe us out. So it's a sign we say Esau can touch us, he can't wipe us out, and even his touching us has a limit of time. There is a tense when Mashiach will come. After learning the Chinuch, how he explains the mitzvah of Gid HaNoshim, we can understand that to catch the fast of Tisha B'Av with Gid HaNoshim is not so far-fetched. It's very fascinating. I don't think that the Chinuch, I don't know if he knew this, I don't think the Zayah was revealed yet, at least not something that was on his time. You see that the Torah is one. Now, so do we see from this? We don't, something I once heard, some people that don't far from Torah didn't want to learn, so they say, what's it going to help you to fast the Tisha B'Av? It's going to bring you back, it's a people which were killed or whatever. The kids are in short, we don't fast only because of the past. Am Yisrael doesn't only deal with the past. We fast because of the future. The fasting of Tisha B'Av is to say that even this situation of Churban Beis HaMikdash is not something historical and that's it, finished. It has its limitation. That we express with our not eating on Tisha B'Av the belief that the Beis HaMikdash will be rebuilt. Now this is very important stuff. You have to know that we're fulfilling, in a certain sense, when we fast on Tisha B'Av, we're fulfilling. We don't have so much opportunity to fulfill the mitzvah of Gid HaNashim. So now we know we're fulfilling this mitzvah, a branch of this mitzvah of not eating the Gid HaNashim. One can be mechabed, but if the fast is difficult in Tisha B'Av, I'm not fulfilling a branch of the mitzvah, but the Torah commanded us in Pashas Vayishlach not to eat the Gid HaNashim. That's the third mitzvah of the Torah. The first mitzvah is Peri Beridia, to have children. The second mitzvah is Bris Milah, to see before the Matan Torah. The third mitzvah is Gid HaNashim, not to eat the Gid HaNashim. It's interesting. Now, Yom Kippur, what do you say? Yeah. Avram got the Milah. No, Avram, Peri Beridia. Well, Peri Beridia was given to Noah. He started obviously, the nation of Israel. Yitzchak was the first one that had a Bris Milah. Yitzchak was the first one that had a Bris Milah on the 8th day. And Yankov was Gid HaNashim. Yeah, interesting. I'll call upon him. Let's go now. Let's see. Why we mentioned that Yom Kippur is connected with the Bris Milah. So let us explain, Thomas, what is the connection? What does it mean? What exactly is the Gid HaNashim? Gid HaNashim means it's the place where the Satan, the Sar of Esav is the Satan. It's the place where the Satan had Shlita. In other words, you can't eat the Gid HaNashim in a certain sense. You can say, this is the Shlita of the Satan. It's the place where the Satan had Shlita. Now, it's very interesting. The day of Yom Kippur, Chazal tell us, in other words, the Malach of the Esav is the Satan. Now, there's a gematria in the Gemara. Has-Satan. I want to explain this in an interesting concept. Yom Kippur and Tisha B'Av, from the point of halachas, they have a lot in common. But the emes is that Yom Kippur and Tisha B'Av are 180 degrees opposing each other. Totally the opposite. Why? Has-Satan, what's the gematria of Has-Satan? You know the gematria of Has-Satan? You figure it out. Satan is 359, Shin, Nun, Tes, and a 5. So 359 plus 5 is how much? See? 64. How many days we talking about in the year? 365.
Oh yeah.
Because the Satan has control on the person, he has permission to do it. 364 days of the year he's at work. But one day of the year, HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends him on vacation. What's the day that he sends him on vacation? Yom Kippur. So now, let's put the one against the other. Tisha B'Av is the Gid HaNashim. That's where the Satan just has full shlichta on the person, full control on the person. And Yom Kippur is a fast where he has no control on the person. So it's two opposites. So we can say like this: we don't. The purpose, in a certain sense, the purpose of eating is to transform, to give us taichus. Eating is a physical act. What? If we have kavana, that the food should give us energy to do mitzvahs, then the eating itself becomes a mitzvah. On the other hand, because it gives us taichus to the Avodah Hashem. What? We have a concept, for example, of macholot asurot. What's the idea of forbidden food, non-kosher food? This food can't be transformed as a tool to help us in Avodah Hashem. It doesn't have a nitzutz, it doesn't have a spark of kedusha. It can't become a kli. The same way, Tisha B'Av is equal to Gid HaNashim. The eating on Tisha B'Av can't be. We can't transform the guf to be a kli for the neshama on Tisha B'Av, the eating the akula v'achila, like the Gid Anosh, because it's B'shus HaSotam. And not eating, so we don't eat on Tisha B'Av. We don't want to be misasek, we don't want to be busy with the Guf on Tisha B'Av. Because that's if we enter the domain of the Guf, that's the B'shus HaSotam. On Yom Kippur, it's exactly the opposite. You know why we don't eat on Yom Kippur? Someone says because we don't need to eat on Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur, the sun has no shlita, so we identify with the neshama. We're part of the neshama. So on Tisha B'Av, we don't eat because we don't have the power to make an contribution. On Yom Kippur, we don't, so to speak, we don't need to eat. That's this hamila. That's mila versus Gihanoshim. The mila is the place in a person where he's constantly in contact with Hashem. The Gihanoshim is the place, is like the churban that's part of the churban Beis Hamikdash, where he's removed from Hashem. If you remember, the Gemara says, David HaMelech ended a Beis HaMerchatz, and he said to himself, now I am Orim Kol HaMitzvahs, just like I'm naked for mitzvahs. What mitzvah can I do in a Beit HaMerchatz? And suddenly he was niskar, he remembered the milasa, he remembered that he has bris milah. And that's when David HaMelech said the pasuk, I'm so happy from remembering the bris milah that it's as if I found an enormous treasure. In other words, with the bris milah, I'm in constant contact with Hashem. That's the place where the sun has no shlita. This is the explanation, what we explained, that the days are corresponding to the Gidim. Yom Kippur is corresponding to Milah. That's the place where we never forget Hashem. That's the place where we're always in contact with Hashem. We're the place where the Beis Hamikdash is always built. And Tisha B'Av is the Churban Beis Hamikdash, where the Beis Hamikdash is destroyed in ourselves as well, where Hashem is forgotten. That's one against the other. They have the similar halachas, the 2 days, but they're 180 degrees the opposite one of another. Yom Kippur and Tisha B'Av. That's just to understand this idea. The idea of building so much. Alright, so we spoke about the Tzom of Tisha B'Av. We have all sorts of mitzvahs connected with the fact that the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed. But this is all like the fast of Tisha B'Av. This is all sur meirah. What can we do in terms sur meirah means don't what you shouldn't do. But there has to be something asay toiv as well. What we can do in a positive sense. What is our responsibility at this time of the year in a positive sense? How do we do acts which are corresponding to rebuilding the Beis Hamikdash? There has to be an asay toiv as well. How do we connect in this man with asay toiv? What is our obligation to rebuild the Beis Hamikdash? I want to say a certain machshava. There's a concept in Chazal called, the concept in this world called Chavay Habiot. To give Ezu HaMachubit, who is the honored person, HaMachabed Esabiyas, the one that gives honor to others, he's a Mechubad. The Beis Hamikdash was a symbol. It wasn't a something in itself. We know the Chazal, V'asur li mikdash v'shachanti b'soicha. The Beis Hamikdash was only a symbol of the hashpah, of the resting of the divine presence in the human being. HaKadosh Baruch Hu put an unbelievable holy neshama into the other. What is the name of the neshama? You know what one of the names of the neshama is? We say, Leman yizamercha chavay v'lo yiday. Where does it come, the concept of chavay, to give kavod to another? I always say, if you make a guest of honor a dog, to save some baby or something, the dog wouldn't absorb the kavod, and he doesn't know what kavod is. You can't give kavod to that. An animal, only a human being has a feeling of kavod and a feeling of disgrace of himself to his God. Because the kavod in the other comes from the tzelem elokim. A behemoth doesn't have a tzelem elokim, so he has no kavod. The kavod is the neshama. And what feels the kavod when you mechabed a person, the pleasure comes from the neshama that understands and senses the kavod. Only the neshama can check the kavod. What is the language of the Torah which when the Torah speaks about the resting of the divine presence in the temple, the Torah says, "U'chvoid Hashem mileis hamishpah." And there's a poem, I think it's from Yehuda Levi. U'levavi Mishkan Evner. I will build a Mishkan in my heart. The resting, like the Kvoid Hashem is resting in the Mishkan. The Neshama, when a person is in contact with his Neshama, the Kvoid Hashem rests in the other. The Binyan Beis HaMikdash represents that Am Yisrael is in the state where the Kvoid Hashem is resting in Klal Yisrael. That means that the Neshama is resting in the other, and each other is his Neshama. So when you are Mechab now, is that we have a pasuk. That's the pshat. The Heichal Hashem was total covered, was the source of covered. The source of covered is the spark of Hashem that's in this world. That's where covered comes from. When you are Mechabed, when Adam, you are being Mechabed, his Tzelem Elokim. You're expressing that he has an Nekuda of the Neshama. That's Binyan Beis HaMikdash. Covered Abrius is Binyan Beis HaMikdash. I'll give you an example of this. We have in Yisrael Lashon Hara, the big day Kohen Gadol when the Chaper on different Averis. So the Gemara says the Me'il, one of the big day Kohen Gadol was called the Me'il. He had an over jacket, and this over jacket, had moin, had bells, and it's a Nishma Kodesh, the way of Kodesh. So it says that the Me'il of the Kohen Gadol was the Chaper atoned for the sin of Lashon Hara. But it's interesting. So one of the reasons is because the meal made noise when he went in. It comes something with a noise and be mechaper with the noise. But the meal, do you know what the meal was made? What color the meal was? Oh, very good. The meal was kulei tchelis. Why the meal was kulei tchelis? Tchelis doimel rekia. The rekia doimel kisei hakavod. And the Neshama is of Klal Yisrael, Achatzuvah is Mitachas Kisei HaKavod. That's where the cover. When a person says Lashon Hara, he's pagan, he puts a defect in the cover of Klal Yisrael, puts a cover in another Jew. So he's pagan in the other one's Neshama, he's Kisei in the Kisei HaKavod is Neshama. He's pagan with the Chelish Shabbat. The Me'il, which was Chelis, was Miramis, that on the Kvoid Yisrael, on the Kvoid Neshama, that's the Pigam of Lashon Hara. So after the Me'il was Chelis, because that's the Tikkun. The Tikkun of Lashon Hara is the Hisbayinis on the Kvoid HaAdam. On the Kvoid Abrius is the Neshama Kadosh, which is Sheikh Ba'adam. So Kvoid, the act of Kvoid Abrius, that's building the Beis HaMikdash. And that's Mechabed the other one, and that's Mechabed oneself. Because Hazel Mechabed, you share that you're Mechabed others, this makes you a Mechabed. That means, what's a Kli? What is a tool? What is a tool to be Sheichen, the Kvoid Hashem in yourself, is the cover that you give to others. So therefore, the act of being Mechabed others, in this day we have a mitzvah at the time of Churban Beis HaMikdash to do acts which are considered V'asuli Mikdash v'shachati v'seicha, make for me a Mikdash. The act of Kvoid Habriyas, of being Mechabed others, that's a positive act of Binyan Beis HaMikdash. The same way, all the things which are Kvoid Tzelem and Kvoid Adam. I said a shtickle joke. One of the reasons why we don't even eat on Tisha B'Av, a person goes to Tefillah, and he davens, and he pushes the good for Beis HaMikdash. But then when he goes to eat, the person eating is an act which was be'etzim, kulei tayv. Where does the eating come from? It comes from the tzad ha'heim b'shaba'adam. It has nothing to do with the neshama. But the levavi is mishkan evne, u'b'mishkan mizbeach osim la'avat v'levav. When the person eating has a condition, if the person, when he eats, he tries to fight with his Yitzhak, and he thinks I'm wondering, he puts in a machshava kedosha, not just eating for Torah. You want to eat to have power to learn Torah, to do mitzvahs. So then it becomes a mizbeach, and it becomes kedusha. That itself is being Beis HaMikdash. All the acts which are only from the behem itself, are being erased in the neshama from the other. That's Churban Beis HaMikdash. When a person is mekadosh the achila, then it becomes Binyan Beis Hamikdash. So we don't eat on Tisha B'Av because we don't want to be machriv the Beis Hamikdash on the day of Churban Beis Hamikdash. So Chazal made they want to be mazakas. We shouldn't be mishtat if the Churban Beis Hamikdash by eating. If eating is not proper. So we make it tzayim. That's vaday the Shem Kedusha. We make it tzayim. Not to be mach, not to te'er the Churban Beis Hamikdash. Another stone of Churban Beis Hamikdash on the day of Churban Beis Hamikdash. But we have to know that when a person is mashkin the kvayda adam, when a person gives cover to the tzelem of the kid, because only a human being can take a physical act of the book and transform it to kedusha. When a person gives a machshava taiva on a gashmistic act, that's the kvayda adam, that's the kvayda tzelem of the kid. That's Binyan Beis Hamikdash. Beis Hamikdash is the etzim, the kvayda Hashem that shows in this world. The representative of the Kvod Hashem that shows in this world is the Tzelem Elokim, is the Neshama that Kadosh Baruch Hu is mashkin body. So whenever we do an act that expresses the dignity of the Nishmas HaOdam, whether it's Bein Odom L'Chaveiro, the other one is Neshama, or whether it's Bein Odom L'Atzmo, he's Mechaved his own Neshama by not becoming a Behemoth, by transforming his physical acts to a mitzvah, having the proper kavanah, that's Binyan Beis Hamikdash. This guy that was Tisha B'Av, she was happy.